So guys, today back for another video on the channel. Today we're here for the Newcastle United versus Leicester City preview. It's a massive game for both clubs. We're going into this game with a little bit more of a high hopes with the new year, the new Newcastle hopefully it won't be. And obviously Leicester City, and as you may know lads, if you're regular to the channel, when we do play Leicester, I normally get Leicester City fans on the videos, and I'm not going to do any speaking on Leicester. You've got actual Leicester fans who are actually going to do the preview for you. So I'm going to leave both of their links in the description. Make sure to subscribe both to their channels. I'll put like what their names are and whatnot, and make sure what they say, because like it's much more efficient and much more easier for me to know a lot more about Leicester from their point of view rather than me, because all I look at is the recent results and who scored basically and how that works. I don't really look at the depth into like how they play and whatnot, and obviously they do, so they'll be going to the game with a bit more knowledge than me. But obviously I'll do my Newcastle side on the video. Make sure to leave a like, lads, subscribe to the channel, and let's get into the preview now.
So Bings, cheers for having me on for this opposition preview, Newcastle United versus Leicester City at St James's Park. But before we get into any of that, I'd like to wish all you guys a happy new year. Hopefully 2021 can be a bit better than 2020. But in terms of the football, this was actually our first game of last year as well. This one was played on New Year's Day last year. Obviously, better game for Leicester than Newcastle, winning 3-0. Perez, Maddison and Chowdhury getting all 3 goals. I thought that was a brilliant performance, but I do think it's going to be harder this year for us than it was last year, because you guys, I think you've been a bit of a mixed bag this season, as most teams, to be honest. But some games you look absolutely brilliant, like you did against Liverpool, and then other games very much disjointed, lacking ambition going forward. But at the same time, you've looked absolutely brilliant in games, as I was just mentioning the Liverpool game, where you looked very, very compact. Yes, you had a bit of luck, but to get a result against a team like Liverpool, you need a bit of luck to go your way, but you were fully deserving of that point. You showed a lot more attacking ambition in that game, and I think a lot of people thought you would. But at times, as a neutral fan, this is as someone who doesn't watch a huge amount of Newcastle, I do find it quite frustrating watching how negative you guys can be, and I understand that at times you have to be against certain teams and certain opposition, but particularly with the summer window you've had of bringing in Callum Wilson, and what a player he's been for you, by the way, but Ryan Fraser, Jamal Lewis, you've had a decent summer window playing very negative, defensive, sort of unambitious football, and I understand that there's got to be sort of that balance and getting it completely right. But that's just the picture I get of Newcastle the times that I have watched you guys this season. But yes, you're defensively solid, you're very stable at the back, but it'd be nice to see a little bit more ambition from you guys going forward, particularly with the players that you do have. But in terms of Leicester this season, we've been a very mixed bag. Some games we've been absolutely brilliant, where we played Man City off the park, we played Tottenham off the park, got a draw against Man United, beat Arsenal, and then there's the teams that sit with a low block that we just can't break down, in terms of Fulham, Everton, West Ham, Aston Villa. To sit deep against us, we struggle to break down, which is why I'm slightly worried about this game, because I'm expecting, despite the fact it's St James's Park, I am expecting you guys to sit deep and try and counter us, and that's been our Achilles heel so much this year. The fact that we can dominate the ball, we can have like up to 70% possession, but it's just breaking down the teams that sit deep. And as I was saying before, you've got some dangerous players on the counter-attacks, which is why I'm slightly fearful of this game, because I do think you guys have got the tools to really hurt us. But anyway, in terms of the starting 11 you could expect to see on Sunday from Leicester City, so Brendan Rodgers has changed it up quite a bit in recent times. Obviously we played on Boxing Day, November 28th, so you have to have a bit of rotation, but this is what I would predict him to go with. So going with a 4-2-3-1, so occasionally we've played it with 5 at the back. Sometimes it works, but that's more against teams that are going to really take the game to you, not when we're going to have to go get on the front foot and really try and break you guys down and move the ball quite quickly to do that. So that's why I've gone with a 4-2-3-1. So in goal it will be our captain Kasper Schmeichel, and then the back four will be right back James Justin, who's been absolutely brilliant this year. Signed him from Luton, and no one could have expected sort of the level that he's reached for us. He's been absolutely brilliant. Played right back, left back, centre back, and he's just been absolutely brilliant so far. Definitely one of our players of the season so far. And then alongside him, Johnny Evans, who's just signed a new deal, which brilliant news for us. One of the most underrated defenders in the league. Huge fan of him. So I'm very glad that we managed to pen him down for another 2 years, because we had clubs like Man United sniffing around. So the fact that we've managed to nail him down for another 2 years is absolutely brilliant. And then alongside him, Wesley Fofana, brilliant prospect. Really enjoyed watching him play this year. Been a very good signing. And then at left back, Castagne, who's slowly getting back to full fitness. So be interesting to see how he does. Alongside him, we've got Tielemans, Tielemans. And for me, Tielemans, he does do his defensive duty, but that's not the best side of his game. For me, having him deep, it allows him to dictate play with his range of passing and his creativity. I do think his best position, playing deep, but also having that freedom to get forward and join attacks. But let's get into the front four. So on the left wing, we've got Harvey Barnes, and he's been absolutely brilliant over the last few weeks. His game this season has really come on to another level, and it's that final product that I was hoping that he would improve this season, and he's done that brilliantly. He scored a brilliant goal on Boxing Day at home against Man United, and then again against Crystal Palace he managed to save us a point, and he's been a key player for us this season. I don't think he could be too far away from another England call-up. So then moving over to the right wing, this is a position where I'm unsure who's going to get picked, because no one's really nailed down a spot. Obviously we've got Ozzy Perez, who occasionally plays on the right wing. Then we've also got Under, who at times has looked brilliant, but it's very inconsistent. And then we've got Mark Albrighton. I've gone with Under for this game, but I'm really not too sure on that right-hand side. But I do think this kind of game will suit Under, where we could need a bit of magic to unlock the defence. So I've gone with Under, but don't be surprised if you see Perez there or Albrighton. But then obviously up top, the main man, Jamie Vardy, didn't start against Crystal Palace, and we suffered without him. I think he's so important to the way we play, and we really do need to be looking at to bring in another striker for when he does eventually retire, which hopefully is no time soon. And the way that he's going, hopefully he can keep this level up for another season or so, because he's been absolutely brilliant, being one of the elite strikers in the Premier League again this season. But it's that thing that no Leicester fan really wants to talk about. We don't know how much longer he can keep going at this level, so eventually we do need to be looking at a replacement, but not for this game. He's definitely starts this game, and he's definitely the man to lead our line. But in terms of my score prediction, I am going to go with a 2-1 Leicester. I do think it's going to be a difficult game, and I do think you guys are going to be quite stubborn, hard to break down, but I do hope that we've got enough to be able to get the 3 points, because I do think if we can go on a bit of a consistent run now, there's definitely an opportunity to break the top 6 or even more again. So for me, 2-1 Leicester, but I am expecting you guys to be a very, very difficult game. But anyway, Binks, cheers for having me on for this opposition preview.
Right, Newcastle fans, Josh here from the channel Sports. So hope you guys are all doing well. So yeah, as you can see, I am a Leicester fan, and today I'm going to bring you guys the Leicester side of things heading into tomorrow's game, of course, between Newcastle and Leicester at St James's Park. So yeah, season so far, it's been a great start to the season for Leicester, sitting third place as it stands at just after New Year. I don't think we can really complain with that, despite a few inconsistent results where we dropped points to teams like Fulham at home, which was a disappointing one. We also dropped some stupid points here and there on the course of the season, but I think that's a story of most teams' seasons as well. So yeah, of course the league this season's been absolutely crazy. So yeah, I don't think Leicester can really complain too much for the start. And overall, I'm pretty happy with how well we started the season. We have a lot of injuries in that path as well. Also in the Europa League as well, we've done a fantastic job in that as well, qualifying and finished top of the group there as well. I really do think Leicester can push on and potentially go for the title, in my opinion. It really is that close, and the league's just crazy this season. So I think we can really push. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the season for Leicester. We have a lot of key men coming back into the lineup, and hopefully we can keep the new year off with a good win against you guys. But obviously it's going to be tough. I think we played each other last year on the New Year at St James's Park as well. But yeah, I think it will be a tough game for Leicester. I watched your guys' game against Liverpool the other night. I thought you guys were fantastic defensively. I thought you were very, very good. Your keeper Dardo is incredible. We made some cracking saves in that game, and I think you guys will cause us some problems on the counter attack. If you guys play like that against us, I think you could definitely try and get a result, because you guys defensively were absolutely fantastic, and that's how I see the game going. Leicester really do struggle to break teams down, so if you guys sit back like that, try and get us on the counter attack against a weakened Leicester defence with the likes of Callum Wilson, I think you guys can really cause us some problems. So yeah, I think you guys definitely have a chance of getting a result in the game, but Leicester are going to have a full strength team come back into the game despite a few injuries for the likes of Ricardo and Soyuncu. I think we can really push on against you guys and try and get a good result to start off the new year. But it's definitely going to be a tough game for Leicester to start the year off. I know you guys haven't struggled recently before the last game, but yeah, you're game against Liverpool, I thought you guys are absolutely fantastic. If you guys play like that against us, I think you can definitely get a result, potentially a draw, or maybe even a win. But it depends what Leicester turns up, because like I said, we have been very, very inconsistent so far this season. The team which I think Brendan Rodgers will go with, obviously Crystal Palace last month we made about 7 changes, so yeah, there's going to be a lot of fresh players coming into the team against you guys on Sunday. I'm going to go with a 4-3-3 formation. So yeah, the team which I'll go with, of course, Schmeichel will start in goal. Right back will be JJ, James Justin. Centre backs will be Fofana and Evans. Left back will be Castagna. Midfield 3 and Diddy will be Holding. Tielemans will be hopefully alongside James Maddison. There's a slight injury concern with Maddison. If he doesn't start, I think the likes of Dennis Pratt to come into the lineup. So yeah, that'll be my midfield 3. Fingers crossed that James Maddison does start. Front 3 will be Barnes on the left, of course, Vardy up top. And then right wing is a tough one. It's between Albrighton, Under, and of course course, your former man, Ayoze Perez. I don't think it will be Perez. He started last month and didn't really play that well. So yeah, I think it will be between Albright and Under, and I'm probably going to go with Albright because Under has also got a slight injury as well. So yeah, that is the team I'll go with. I think the midfield battle is going to be key in the game. If Leicester can win it, I think we can go on and get the win. And especially if you guys think about the likes of James Maddison, Yuri Tillemans are going to have to be on the game. If they're not playing well, I think you guys can definitely do well. I don't think Leicester will be able to break you guys down. But James Maddison, Tillemans are all linking up nicely with the likes of Barnes coming inside as well. I think Leicester could get a good result. But yeah, I think the midfield battle will be key in the game. Score prediction wise, I'm going to go with Leicester and I have to. I'm going to go with a narrow 2-1 away win to Leicester. I think it will be a tough game, but if Leicester can get a win here, it'll be a great way to start off the new year against a good team in you guys. But yeah, it's going to be a tough game. Goal scorers, I'll go with Vardy to get one, and I'm going to go with Maddison to get one. And for you guys, I'll go with Callum Wilson to get the goal. But yeah, that's it for the Leicester side of things. A big thanks for having me on the channel. If you can go subscribe to my channel, that would be massively appreciated. Go subscribe to Bink's channel if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video. Good luck for the rest of the season. Not tomorrow, but yeah, cheers for having me on, guys. See you in a bit.
Cheers lads for coming on the channel. It does mean a lot. Make sure to watch their previews as well, as I'm saying a little bit on there if you want to go and see that. Anyways then, Newcastle United. Going into the game, it's a new year. Like last year, 2020, the first game summed up 2020. We played Leicester and we got beat 3-0 on New Year's Day. I hope everyone did have a good New Year's. The last video was the Liverpool reaction, and that was the last video of the year. And this is a fresh start, a new me. Wait and see. Lads, we're trying to hit 10k this year. I was waiting for like the day of 2021 to come so I can actually say that. We're trying to hit 10k, so if you could go subscribe to the channel, it wouldn't mean a lot. We're trying to hit this year. Anyways then, Newcastle United, obviously going into the game. We have got not many injuries at the minute, which is quite good. Lascelles could be in the mix for Arsenal, which is our next game in the FA Cup. But Maximin doesn't look back for a long time. With Ryan Fraser, apparently he was going to be injured until February. He's back in training, which looks good. Fingers crossed he does play, or even against Arsenal he does play. Because even though Arsenal aren't doing great, we could do something in the FA Cup. I mean, I'd rather... I didn't mind if we go out of the FA Cup. Depends how we play, depends how we approach the game. But I would focus on this game a lot more. It is a winnable game. Leicester have been a bit iffy-diffy a little bit recently, as you heard from the lads of Leicester. They're bits. But I've been looking at their last games now, and they've done okay, but they did lose to Everton, but they beat Spurs and drew to Man United, then drew to Palace. Like, normally, Leicester do really good against the big teams, and a bit iffy against smaller teams, like what the Leicester fans were saying. So let's hope we can do that. But the last time we played Leicester, the last 2 times we played Leicester, we conceded 8 goals in 2 games against Leicester City. That's just shite, isn't it? It really is. But let's just hope we can go into the game with a little bit more confidence and a little bit more like oomph, a little bit more like happiness. It's a new year. Let's just go for the game. Let's just go for the win, boys. I don't want to sit back. I just want to go for the win, and that's all that matters in my opinion. Just go for it, and that's what we need. Anyways, lads, that is the end of the preview. You heard from the Leicester City fans. Make sure to both check out their channels in the description. It would mean a lot if you could do so. Anyways, lads, I'll see you all for the game tomorrow. And at the minute, lads, just because I'm still like got my time off work, so there'll still only be a reaction unless we have like a masterclass and win. There'll be a player rating as well, but I'm not quite sure. New year, lads, first video of the year. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, lads. I'll see you all for the next video.